The old guard of content production, they're outnumbered. If we slowly tell our stories, if we drip feed the internet with authentic, independent work, that impact compounds over time. For the past 5 years, I've been learning. I've been consuming. I've been reading, watching, and listening to content. And the internet has made this easier than ever. But now, I feel a shift. My conscience is pulling me to create, to move from being just a consumer to a creator. And if you're watching this, you might feel that too. One of the biggest changes I've noticed is how I think about my time. My time is valuable, and because I'm now spending it on creative tasks, I've become way more intentional with what I consume. If I know I have a video to create, I don't want to clog my mind with random content, because too much input is too much clutter, like in my mind. So instead, I focus on the task at hand. We are the new media. We're no longer watching traditional mainstream media, and we all know why. Because once you find independent creators, you just can't go back. The spell's broken. We've seen how the sausage is made.
Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about troubling and irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these stories simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 We are the new media, independent creators. And no, that doesn't mean just news. It means sharing what you find valuable, your unique perspective, your interests, your take on the world. That's more than just commenting. It's taking an idea and integrating it into your worldview and creating something new with it. That's the real conversation. That's the great conversation, and that's how we participate in it. And now we have the tools to do more than just react. We can reference, we can share work, credit ideas, archive knowledge in ways that are built to last. We don't have to participate in social media by producing content for the algorithm to chase meaningless internet points. Instead, we can create meaningful evergreen content that over a lifetime builds into a substantial body of work. And when we do this, we should connect our work to the greater body of human knowledge. The internet was meant to interconnect ideas, not just to serve as this dopamine factory that it's become. Where in the past, someone like Richard Grove in his John Taylor Gatto interview had to rely on text citations, we can now embed sources directly into our content. For example, a simple QR code in a video frame acts as like a pointer that lets the viewer instantly access the source material. This is how we build something that is bigger than ourselves. Now, I'll be the first to admit that I sort of detest QR codes. I was that guy during COVID that refused to scan a QR code when I go to a restaurant, just to make the point that I don't want to live in a world that requires me to carry a cell phone around with me everywhere. With that said, we can use this technology for good by allowing the viewer or the user to check the claim made in the video. We may not agree with that claim, but that's beside the point. The point is to give the user back the ability to verify the evidence used to back the claim made in the video in the first place. You might think, who am I to create? But that's the wrong question. The right question is, who am I not to create? No one else has your exact perspective. Your voice matters. In fact, what makes you think you have the right to keep what you know from the world? For example, if AI is trained on everything online, then the more we create, the more we shape what that future looks like. The old guard of content production, they're outnumbered. If we slowly tell our stories, if we drip feed the internet with authentic, independent work, that impact compounds over time. If instead we succumb to fear or imposter syndrome and we stay silent, the internet gets flooded with noise. AI models will only have corporate-approved data to be trained on. If we don't tell our stories, someone else will, and they're not going to get it right. So if you've been stuck in a cycle of consuming, consider this your wake-up call. Now is the time to create. Start small, tell your story, investigate a local event, and share your findings. Add your voice to the conversation, because we don't just have the opportunity to create. It's now our duty.